Our story begins with Sarah, a young woman living in the heart of a bustling metropolitan city, marking the start of our countdown at the third spot. In a city that never sleeps, quiet corners were rare to find, and homes came with a price tag that was often too hefty for the average millennial to bear. Sarah was no different. She lived in a small but incredibly cozy apartment that warmed your heart as soon as you stepped in. But the weight of the rent was a burden that was becoming cumbersome. Every passing day whispered the pressing need for someone to share the load. In an attempt to find a solution, she turned to Craigslist, posting an ad seeking a roommate. The online platform proved its utility soon enough when it led her to Lisa. Lisa was a quiet girl who was always polite and seemed to have a friendly disposition. She worked as a librarian and had an unassuming air about her. The idea of sharing her home with a quiet librarian seemed appealing to Sarah, and so Lisa moved in. In the beginning, everything seemed to be sailing smoothly. Lisa was punctual with her share of the rent and utilities, and she mostly kept to herself, engrossed in her books. But as time went on, Sarah started noticing some odd behavior. Small items around the apartment would mysteriously disappear. Sarah would often be woken up late at night to muffled whispers filtering out from Lisa's room. Driven by curiosity and a sense of unease, Sarah decided to investigate Lisa's room one day when she was out. Behind the innocuous facade of Lisa's closet, Sarah discovered a secret room. It was a chilling sight. The room was decked with newspaper clippings of missing persons and their photographs. The horror struck her like a lightning bolt. Her heart pounded in her chest as realization dawned. She had no time in calling the police, her hands trembling as she dialed the numbers. It became clear that Lisa was not who she claimed to be. Lisa was a ruthless serial killer, notorious in the underground world, using Craigslist as a hunting ground for her victims. Sarah was left in shock as she narrowly escaped becoming another headline. Mark and Emily, a young couple brimming with vivacious energy, had always been passionately drawn towards the alluring world of antiques. This mutual love for pieces that were soaked in the essence of bygone eras was something that had brought them together and was one of the cornerstones of their relationship. One sunny afternoon, their normal routine was interrupted by something they found online, a listing on Craigslist for an ornate antique mirror. It was an old, majestically designed mirror, claimed to be from the Victorian era and being sold for a bargain price. The description captured their attention, and the pictures were incredibly enticing. The mirror was beaming with character, with its intricate details and elaborate carvings, and seemed like a relic from a forgotten time. Overwhelmed with excitement their potential acquisition, Mark and Emily quickly made arrangements to pick up the mirror from the seller's house, located a couple of suburbs over. Upon arrival, the mirror was even more breathtaking than they had imagined. Gleaming under the soft light of the seller's home, it seemed as though it was crafted exclusively for the aesthetic style of their living room. Filled with anticipation, they carefully loaded the mirror into their car and drove home. There was a palpable excitement in the air as they hung the mirror in their house. However, as soon as the mirror found its place on their wall, peculiar things started unraveling. The soothing ambience of their home was disrupted by strange whispers that seemed to be coming from nowhere. Shadowy, unidentifiable figures began to appear in the reflection of the glass, bringing a chilling sensation that they couldn't shake off. The air was heavy with inexplicable tension, and their once harmonious relationship turned bitter and resentful as they began blaming each other for the unsettling occurrences. Desperate for answers and a little afraid, they delved into the research of the mirror's past. They discovered that it had a dark history, steeped in mystery, and was allegedly cursed. The mirror was linked to a series of tragic deaths, sending chills down their spines. The knowledge made their blood run cold, replacing the previous excitement with cold dread. Overcome by terror and in a bid to regain their peaceful life, they decided to shatter the mirror. They smashed the formerly cherished mirror into countless pieces and burned them in their backyard. They watched as the flames devoured the fragments of the cursed mirror, hoping fervently to rid themselves of the eerie curse once and for all.